you can count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader 9. Sponsored by Montlick & Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
A reported tornado, gust of wind, and a downpour of rain, leaving behind damage all across the Chattahoochee Valley.
And we have live team coverage as well from Columbus, showing you some of the worst damaged areas, including trees down. Also an update on power outages and what's being done about cleanup.
If you thought the weather was active today, it could be again on Wednesday. The latest on the threat for strong storms, the threats, and the timing coming up tonight.
Well, good evening to you. Welcome to News Leader 9 at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. We have got you covered on the severe weather that moved through our area. We've got team coverage from Columbus to East Alabama and much, much more. Some of the hardest hit areas included South Columbus, also Eufaula, and there are reports tonight of a tornado touching down in Schley County. Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid is here now with us with more on the damage that we saw and just how bad things were today.
Yeah, you know, we had a long line of storms that came through, very gusty winds, of course, and in some cases, some embedded tornadoes. You're looking at video right now. This is from Jason Frazier, sent this over to us via email. He was in Schley County. Right. This was a tornado between Buena Vista and Ellaville, and you can see from the video right here, it changes perspectives. He had a shot of the tornado for a while, and here it is one more time. You can see right through there. That's the possible tornado. Again, we have to say possible because we can't get in close enough to see if there's actually debris coming up from the ground. The Weather Service is going to be out here. They're going to survey this at some point here in the coming days and determine whether or not this was a tornado. I can tell you from our radar signature, it looked very much like what a tornado would look like.
And it's pretty sizable, right, from what you see there?
Yeah, from what we see, they're a pretty sizable tornado. They're in a great spot to see it. You don't really see a lot of rain around it, and the ground there a little flatter, of course, so you can see those things from a little longer distance away. He said it was about 3 miles from that storm.
And fortunately, no reported injuries from this.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's the good news today, the big message today, some damage, but thankfully no major reports of injuries. Let's talk more about the weather today, too, Barbara. Right now, things are looking a lot more quiet in terms of the weather outside. The rain has ended across most of the Chattahoochee Valley. Still showers in place from Americus down to Albany there along Highway 19 from there and points to the east. Rain, lightning, thunder, but so far the rain has ended for most of our coverage area. Boy, you go back a couple of hours, though, this is what we were dealing with. Plenty of lightning from these big-time storms that were rumbling on through. In fact, you go back out here and look in East Alabama about 6 hours ago. That's where we had those showers and storms starting to pop up, tracking on through the valley. But again, the severe weather risk for tonight is over. Now, when you look at the reports of severe weather today, each one of these icons is a report of wind damage, tornadoes, or large hail. And boy, there were plenty of them across Alabama and Georgia. Tough to see the cities under this. So Columbus is right here. And you note all those reports of severe weather across the Chattahoochee Valley today. A lot of that, trees down, power lines down, and that sort of thing. Now, we're not done with the severe weather this week. As we have a nice day on tap for tomorrow, we will be looking ahead to Wednesday, another day we're going to deal with a significant risk for more severe weather, perhaps more significant than today, and we'll have details on that, what kind of threats we'll see, and more coming up here in a bit, Barbara.
All right, Derek, thank you. And our crews are fanned out across the valley, covering some of the hardest hit areas from today's severe storms. And my co-anchor, Jason Dennis, is out live now on North Star Drive in Columbus with a look at some of the damage left behind. He kicks off our team coverage. Jason?
Well, Barbara, a big mess here in this neighborhood. We are off of North Star Drive. This is near Dawson Elementary, kind of in the East Columbus area. And if you see behind me, the crews here are actually just getting ready to remove this massive tree off the power lines. They've just started that work. They say it takes about 30 minutes to remove those trees. And the folks that live in this area, which is considered North Star Crossing, these houses, they say their power's out and they are actually stuck, really trapped in their homes in their neighborhood because this is the only way in and out, that street right there, and they're blocked off. There's nothing the crews can do about it until they remove all those trees and keep everything safe for those power lines that are just sitting on the ground. You see behind me over here, they've removed some of the other trees already earlier today, some massive trees. This is kind of the leftovers from that. You see the power lines still laying on the ground, and there's really thousands of people in the Chattahoochee Valley and in Georgia and Alabama that do not have power right now. So again, they're trying to clean up this mess. They have been out here all afternoon trying to restore power, trying to clean up the trees that are down here in the East Columbus area. Now, someone else that's out amidst the damage is News Leader 9's Parker Bratton, joining us now live at the Eufaula Post Office. And Parker, you spoke today to a woman who had quite an emotional day trying to protect her own grandchildren, right?
That's right, Jason, she did. This area has been impacted really hard right here in Eufaula. I'm here at the Eufaula post office, and the mayor tells me this is one of the most hardest hit areas. I'm going to step out of the way to give you a better look at what's going on. What happened earlier today is that brick building over there was actually had the roof ripped right off of it. You can see right now crews are working to clean up some of that damage. There are cars that are still underneath some of that roof right there. You can see the mayor tells me that this again was one of the hardest spots hit throughout the city. And not only here did this happen, it happened right down the street, up this way, everywhere around this area. And I spoke with a woman who was in the bathroom with her grandson when this all came through, and she just barely missed this tornado.
I had debris, that had fallen out and was on me, and I kept looking to make sure that he was okay, because he screamed too. He was scared to death. He jumped because that boom was just so loud.
And the mayor did tell me that he thinks that it was a possible tornado touchdown. It might not have touched down, but it was in this vicinity. He said that the straight line winds were so powerful that it caused so much damage along this area. And we're going to hear from the mayor coming up on the news at 5:30. Jason.
Well, some scary moments indeed. Thank you, Parker. And we know that everybody is safe and no injuries there in Eufaula, thank goodness. And we continue our live team coverage with our reporter Jose Zozaya joining us now live from the Eagle and Phoenix Mill. We understand the lofts there had a part of their roof actually ripped off earlier today because of those strong winds. So, Jose, what's it look like out there right now?
Jason, I'm going to step back for a little bit so you can take a better look at what we're seeing right here. I'm actually going to go right behind the camera just to give you a better idea. Right now, you can see that hole, that totally torn off part of a building here at Eagle and Phoenix Mills in Uptown Columbus, right on Front Avenue. The wind strong enough to carry something that knocked it out and just leaving part of it, that building, still intact. And News Leader 9 was tracking that first wave of severe weather as it settled over the Chattahoochee River coming into Columbus. Those major winds picking up everything in its path, and eyewitnesses tell me they couldn't believe what they were seeing as bricks and wood were crashing all over and onto the building.
I have never seen anything that crazy. I've never seen a big chunk of roof flying in the air. So no, I've never seen anything that crazy. Pretty exciting. It was just kind of chaotic when the wind came in. I mean, I remember getting into the RV and everybody had sand all over them. They were covered in sand and just stuff from the ground because all the trash was flying in the air and the dirt was coming pretty fast.
Cleanup crews eventually did make their way here onto the scene, scooping up that debris and all those bricks off of Front Avenue. No other major signs of damage, at least in this section of Uptown Columbus. And guys, this part of the sidewalk you see right there to my right is closed as those in charge of the building, the operators or the cleanup crew, comes up with the plan to address how they're going to move forward from here. But again, that damage significant enough to damage a historic building here in Uptown Columbus. Live in Front Avenue, Jose Zozaya for News Leader 9. We'll send it back to you in the studio, guys.
All right, Jose, thank you. Of course, we will hear more from these guys coming up at 5:30 and 6. As we said, fortunately, no reports of injury. We do understand there was one report of an injury in Ellaville, but that is the only report we're getting at this point. So that is the good news tonight. Schools within the Muskogee County School District now assessing the damage following today's storms. Baker Middle School suffered significant damage to their school bus ramp, while East Columbus Middle School is reporting damage to their school gymnasium. And News Leader 9's Sharifa Jackson continues our team coverage. She is live now from Brewer Elementary School, where a large tree was uprooted by the storm right in front of that school. So Sharifa, tell us more about the damage and the cleanup tonight.
Well, Barbara, Brewer Elementary School, they actually did not have any structural damage to the school, but there were just dozens and dozens of trees that were down power lines, and also damage to cars. Joining me now is Ms. Valerie Fuller, Director of Communications for the Muskogee County School District. And as you guys begin to assess the damage in the schools, what are you guys seeing?
Well, today we know after having a thorough assessment that we have at least 3 schools that suffered some damage of some sort. The most major was here at Brewer Elementary, where we had at least 23 vehicles that were damaged, either damaged due to broken glass, and one that was actually physically moved, as well as several trees and power lines down. Over at Baker Middle School, we had at least power outages also, but we also had the awning of the bus ramp that was removed. And the other school was East Columbus Magnet School, middle school, who suffered some gym damage.
All right, so what is next for you guys? I know it's a threat of severe weather coming on Wednesday, so how are you guys preparing for that?
Well, we prepare by just monitoring the weather and looking at the situation on a case-by-case basis, on a day-by-day basis. We can't control an act of God. Currently, we have Georgia milestones testing that is going to be a priority for tomorrow because it begins tomorrow. We already know we have at least 3 or 4 schools, elementary schools, that don't have power, so our focus is on making sure that the power is on and working tomorrow because Georgia milestones testing does begin. And in the case where power may still be out or Wi-Fi may be down, we've already contacted the Georgia Department of Education to have those conversations and to get approval not to start testing for those schools tomorrow.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that information with us. And of course, we'll have more information as it becomes available. You can check online and also our mobile app. For that, I'll be live at 6 with another update. Reporting live in Columbus, Sharifa Jackson for News Leader 9.
All right, Sharifa, thank you. And you can always stay updated with the latest in area school closings and delays through our WTVM Facebook page as well as our free mobile news app. And some of the roads around the area remain treacherous, pretty dangerous because of debris following today's storms. This is a live look from the roads in our live drive vehicle. This looks to be Interstate 185 there. Still getting some of the rain off the roads. You can see things looking pretty dry right now. Traffic appears to be moving, but again, stay alert and aware and know that there could be debris in some areas that you may be traveling. Columbus Fire Marshal Ricky Shores has said drivers should avoid certain areas due to that debris and trees blocking roads. He says some of the worst areas are in South Columbus still. He's urging the public to not drive in the areas of Benning Road, Casita Road, and South Lumpkin Road as crews continue to try to clean up there. One of the things causing some of the dangers on the roads is widespread power outages. This is a live look at current power outages courtesy of Georgia Power. The outages is causing street lights to be out in some areas. The latest count in the Columbus area shows more than 10,000 people still without power. Some of the areas with the most outages including East and South Columbus. And our team coverage of the damage from today's severe weather continues online. Just go to WTVM.com or download our free mobile app. Some of the things you will find are how to prepare for severe weather, the latest on power outages, and a slideshow of severe weather pictures and video. Well, a deadly scene in Auburn last night as a man is shot and killed. What police found when they arrived on the crime scene is coming up.
So Rose Lawrence from Columbus, our WTVM and Energy Savers umbrella winner today. And again, you may need the umbrella a bit later on this week on Wednesday. Details on a big severe weather risk coming up once again here in just a bit.
And we're getting lots of weather damage pictures that you sent into our newsroom today. You can send them to PIX, that's P-I-X, at WTVM.com. You can also take a look at all of the other pictures sent in on our website under the slideshows section.
News Leader